Hi all, I just want to give you a quick example about how Lib Dem and Labour councils are robbing us up and down the country, robbing us of land and services and pushing up property value, meaning a lot of us are getting pushed out of our areas where we've lived for generations. This is the Royal Borough of Kingston upon Thames, a Lib Dem stronghold for many years, and home to the leader of the Lib Dems, Sir Ed Davey. This was the King Charles Centre, a place that provided adult education and apprenticeships. It was sold off for the Lib Dems for 3.5 million. And these are the magistrates' courts. Beautiful building, sold off by the Lib Dems to be converted into housing. Beautiful architecture and full of history for the area. Both of these services were relocated to the Guildhall in the centre of Kingston upon Thames, but later had to move the magistrates' court all the way to Wimbledon because the Lib Dems sold off our registry office, along with planning permission to build more flats in the area. Those that know Kingston will know the Guildhall complex is actually quite big, so why couldn't they fit all the services in this area? Well, because they've sold off a third of the area for residential buildings. This was the site of the public swimming pool in Kingston upon Thames. Due to a hole in the roof, the other structure apparently wasn't safe, even though when looked into it would have only cost about $50,000 to fix. Instead, the council had a great idea to redevelop the area, knock it down and build a new one. But once the building was knocked down, they realised that the 40 million they set aside wasn't enough, and it would actually cost over 70 million to do, leaving residents in the area without their gym or swimming pool. This was the area where the post office sorting office used to be. Again, public land sold off to develop these big, ugly flats that even avoided having to house social people because they built more flats in another area where they could live in. Not only did they get away with that, but they got away with building these monstrosities that overtower the towns, making them feel dark and cramped, even though part of planning permission requires you to keep with the characteristics of the town. But unfortunately, rules and laws don't mean much for the Lib Dem council. Before this was knocked down, it was a local community centre, offering a place for local meetings and dance classes for children. Because of the population increasing in the areas, the schools have to expand as well, meaning more public buildings have to be sold off, including health centres and care homes. That's just a small example of the amount of land owned by the public that's been sold off to private corporations. Now, they say they do this to reduce costs, but reduce cost of what? In Kingston upon Thames, council tax is one of the highest in the country, so we're not seeing any savings there. The only cost that these are helping with is high salaries for the managers that they've got